The pharmaceutical industry, also known as Big Pharma, plays a pivotal role in global healthcare through the research and development of medications. This industry, however, faces ongoing criticism due to the relationship between company profits and public health interests. Many have raised the ethical dilemmas that come from pharmaceutical companies prioritizing profits over accessibility by making medications unaffordable for patients, as well as increasingly reducing investment in R&D, slowing the development of new medication. While capital is necessary in sustaining the advancements of new drugs, the ethical implications of high medication costs remain a major topic of debate. The modern pharmaceutical landscape has evolved significantly since the 19th century, where companies like Bayer and Pfizer established medical production, introducing widely used medications like aspirin. In the early 20th century, breakthroughs such as insulin and penicillin revolutionized medicine, and with it the future of drug development. After a few more decades, the industry experienced substantial financial growth, but also the rise of ethics regulations. And more recently, the rapid development of vaccines, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, demonstrated the ability for the industry to rapidly respond to global health crises. Supporters of the industry argue that despite controversy, pharmaceutical companies are clearly a net positive for public health. COVID-19 is an obvious example of this, where companies such as Pfizer and Moderna promptly produced vaccines on an unprecedented timeline. While this was aided by government investments, this rapid medical advancement would not have been feasible without pharmaceutical companies' decades of investment. In fact, 20% of the pharmaceuticals industry's sales revenue is reinvested into research and development. According to Pharmaceuticals Research and Manufacturers of America, the cost of developing a single new drug is about $2.6 billion, with no guarantee of it even reaching the market. This financial risk discourages companies from aggressively pricing medication in order to recoup their investments and continue to progress healthcare. Opponents argue that companies should prioritize affordable pricing over excessive profits. By focusing on accessibility rather than profit maximization, the industry could choose to better serve the needs of patients and society. The case of Sovaldi, an incredibly effective antiviral medication used to treat liver disease, is a shocking example. Sovaldi is crucial for helping 3 million Americans with hepatitis C, but at a cost of $84,000 for a 12-week course, or about $1,000 a pill, the treatment is often completely unaffordable. Instead of simply recovering its research and development costs, its manufacturer, Gilead, set the price at the highest level it believed insurers and patients would pay. This means that in some countries like Japan and Korea, the entire treatment is as low as only $300, as insurance companies are not willing to pay anywhere near as much. The Sovaldi case is a clear example of how high drug prices can create barriers to access, even for treatment that are literally life-saving. By focusing on affordable pricing and equitable access, pharmaceutical companies could fulfill their ethical responsibilities while still maintaining sustainable business models. So where are we now? Price gouging by Big Pharma has sparked legal and cultural reactions globally, with a particularly strong response in the US, where a lacking robust public healthcare system has given companies more power. The high-profile case of Martin Shkreli's 5,000% price hike on Daraprim, along with the skyrocketing cost of insulin, have triggered public outrage and political action. The US passed the Inflation Reduction Act, finally allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices, and several states have introduced insulin price caps. Globally, pharmaceutical price hikes have also sparked protests and legal action. In Europe, the affordability of essential medications like cancer drugs and vaccines has led to increased scrutiny of pharmaceutical companies. The UK's NHS has raised concerns about inflated drug prices, and in countries like India and Brazil, patents and intellectual property disputes have risen, arguing that monopolies on essential drugs restrict access for poorer populations. Recently, social media has amplified cultural outrage. Twitter and TikTok have helped grassroots campaigns that call for increased pricing transparency, with hashtags like #PharmaGreed and #AffordableInsulin, bringing attention to the issues worldwide. Activists and healthcare professionals have used these platforms to demand change and push for greater accountability from both governments and Big Pharma. The increasing outrage over price gouging, along with tighter regulations and price controls, has had unfortunate unintended consequences. Slowdowns in pharmaceutical research and development. Faced with rising public scrutiny and reduced profit margins from pricing restrictions, many pharmaceutical companies have scaled back their investment into new drug development. This shift is particularly noticeable in areas like antibiotics, cancer therapies, and treatments for rare diseases where the potential for higher returns is limited. As companies prioritize profits from existing medications over the pursuit of groundbreaking treatments, the focus of the industry has shifted, potentially stalling innovation and exacerbating global health disparities. In conclusion, what's next? Going forward, a balanced approach will likely be essential. Proposed legislation, like the Drug Price Transparency Act, are a beginning. Profit margins of 5,000% at the cost of human lives are clearly unethical, but encouraging R&D through the enforcement of patent laws and better IP protection will be part of the solution. We might also see more of an emphasis on incentivizing innovation through public-private partnerships or tax breaks for R&D. Society will need to find ways to moderate excessive pharma profits while still investing in breakthroughs. The ultimate goal is a system where both innovation and affordability can coexist.